Welcome students. This is the continuation of the good manufacturing practice requirements according to Drug and Cosmetic Act 1940 and the Act 1945. We have discussed up to the building, that is 3 points we have discussed. First, the building and facilities. We have discussed what all the requirements for a building and the facilities by good manufacturing practice, in which we have seen this all the points which is needed to be maintained, like premises, design and construction features, lighting, plumbing, ventilation, air filtrations in the buildings and in the production areas, and sewage and refuse, it means, for example, reusing or controlling the environmental pollution by means of the wastage water project, and washing and the toilet facilities, how it should be maintained. So all these things we have discussed in very detail, and sanitation and maintenance especially we have seen and we have focused. There is more than 9 points we have discussed, more than 9 points or 12 points we have discussed about the maintenance of the building area. So now according to, we have 11 parts in GMP. In that fourth one today we have to start with fourth and we'll finish 11 up to 11 today. And equipments, this is the fourth point. Equipments must be located, designed, constructed, adapted and maintained to suit the operation to be carried out. What is the production operation you are going to carry out? An equipment design, size and location, equipment used in manufacturing, processing, packing or holding of a drug product shall be of appropriate design and adequate size and easily cleanable. That is very important to maintain the good manufacturing practice according to Drug and Cosmetic Act 1945. Number 1, equipment construction. Equipment shall be constructed so that surface that contact component material should not be reactive. The material should not be reactive with the metals or the material which is used for the equipments which you are using for the production. So that is also major thing which you have to remember. And equipment cleaning and maintenance, equipment and utensils shall be cleaned, maintained and sanitized at appropriate intervals to prevent contamination that could affect safety, identity, strength and quality of drug product. So this is what the equipments, how you have to arrange, size of the room and how it has to be maintained. It should not be congested, very congested. So just a picture to show you. And if it is an automatic, mechanical and electronic equipment, just we have added, even if it is an automatic electronic equipment which is given as a third point in it, it's a point in the equipment only. If these type of equipment include computers or related system may be used in manufacturing and in order process, it shall be routinely calibrated and inspected or checked according to a written program designed to ensure the proper performance. You see, I have taken an example of filling machine here, and this one is fluidized bed dryer which is connected with automatic computerized, which can maintain the humidity and the temperature and the flow of the dry air control, and all these things can be automatically maintained, and this can be seen by the window which is available in the instrument. And also you can see this is filling machine, liquid or else automatical. How much ml have to be filled and sealed can also be done. And the same thing, there are wireless ampules filling are also available in the parental department. And this is the rotary double compression. Once, that is 75 punches, 75 per minute, 75 punches and odd number punches, which is having double punch rotary tablet compression machine, which we have a single punch and which we have in our institution. You have a rotary punch instrument there, and this is also the instrument which can be used with a computerized and can be operated. And the fifth one, you can see after equipment, control of component and drug product containers and closures. So containers and closures which you are using also, it should not have any reactive with the drugs which you are formulating. There shall be written procedures describing in sufficient details of receipt, identification, storage, handling samples or sampling, testing, and approval or rejection of components and drug products, containers and closures. These all have to be standardized and should be followed properly according to the SOP and the standard procedure given by WHO, and so that you can maintain good manufacturing process. This we are showed about the ampules of the specification which is given according to the WHO. We can use for parenteral products ampules, vials, and we can go for even plastic containers and closures, bottles for liquid orals, and collapsible tubes for ointments, creams. Every specification is given. It shall not be reactive, additive or absorptive so as to alter the safety, identity, strength, quality or purity of drug. They shall provide adequate protection against environmental hazards. So these are all the things which we have to remember for to have a good manufacturing practice which has to be followed according to Drug and Cosmetic Act 1940. They shall be clean and sterilized, the containers. And number 6, production and process control. There shall be written procedure even computerized, even though time and specifically denoted how the various process is happening. If it is a tablet, starting from mixing, raw material weighing, mixing, granulation, drying, compression, coating, packing, like that, every sector have to be written procedure for production and process control designed to assure that the drug products have the identity, strength, quality and purity they are represented to possess. So you can have as a process, you can have an SOP, you can have the process sector according to the standard procedure which has been given, which will give you the improvement of the process according to the good manufacturing practice to assure the batch uniformity and the integrity of the drug product can be maintained by means of having a good manufacturing practice. Written procedures have to be established to monitor the output and to validate the performance of manufacturing process responsible for causing variability. So interesting and very important sector. Where have the skill and your maintenance for standard procedure according to the SOP have to be maintained. Now the seventh part of the good manufacturing practice is packing and labeling control. Label are also, we are getting approval from FDA as we have seen in the last class regarding the application for new drug development and new drug approval, NDA or new drug application. We have seen clearly about the importance of getting approval with a label which you are going to pack and label the product which you are manufacturing. Labeling and packing materials shall be representatively sampled, sampling, and examined or tested upon receipt, and before use in packing or labeling of drug product. This is a machine where you might have seen the label after approval will be fed. Automatically the machine will paste if it is a liquid waters, and if it is a tablet blister packing, already it will be printed in the blisters. And if it is an aluminium foil packing, already the label will be printed according to the approval which is given by FDA. So that has to be specified and checked according to the product which you are packing. This is a machine which is used for packing the capsule filling in a bottles and labeling, automatic machine. The labels can be supplied in a sector, in a place where it can be fixed in the bottles, fixed with 100 capsules in a bottle and labeled very neatly. There are many instruments are there to be shown you, which you might have seen in your formulative and development subject. Records shall be maintained for each shipment, each batch, packaged and labeled products have to be examined during finishing operations to provide assurance that containers and the packages in the lot having correct label. Label should bear an expiry date determined by appropriate stability testing method. Number 8, holding and distribution. This is what we are talking. What is holding? About warehousing, quarantine, storage. After the quality control department releases the drug, we have to store them immediately. We cannot take to the consumer. We have many channels of distribution. So holding, keeping in the storage area, and then distribution. So how to do this? And we can maintain warehouse procedures. It includes storage of the drug product under appropriate conditions of temperature, humidity, and light, so that identity, purity of the drug product are not affected. That is very important. Appropriate condition of temperature should be maintained, even humidity. And the storage condition, you can see the picture, how long and wide and spacious, and maintaining with lighting arrangements and maintaining the sector without any environmental contamination, including microorganisms. Distribution procedure, how to distribute them. This is storage area, warehousing after quality control department approval for the sales in the market. Distribution procedure, it includes oldest approved stock of the drug product and distributed first, is distributed first after getting the approval. The distribution of each lot or each batch of drug product can be readily determined to facilitate its recall if necessary. Now we are coming to the 9th one about the good manufacturing practice, laboratory control. This is also we have studied separately good laboratory practice. A lab which should be very fully equipped with all the instruments, all the instrumental analysis will be kept in the quality control area, and laboratory control shall include appropriate specification, standards, sampling plans, and test procedures designed to assure that particular components, drug product containers, closures, in-process materials, conformed, spelling CONFIRM, conform to appropriate standards of identity, strength, quality, and purity. There shall be written testing program designed to assess the stability characteristics of drug product. If you are using animals used in the testing shall be maintained and controlled in a manner that assures their stability for their intended use. So that is very, very important and should be maintained properly according to good manufacturing practice. Now the 10th one is records and reports. Usually we can do by computers, but written records should be maintained. Physical records have to be maintained for at least 1 year after the expiry date of the batch. Understand, if you are 3 years expiry date, you have to keep at least 4 years of maintenance, that record of the manufacturing records. Any production control or distribution record that is required to be maintained and shall be retained in the premises for at least 1 year after the expiry date or expiration of the batch date which you have specified in the label in the market. So how to prepare a batch manufacturing record with a template is very, very important, and it should be maintained, which you might have studied in detail. It will be kept in a computer, and then everything day to day it will be filed by batch to batch and the session to session, how the shift to shift. Per day there will be 3 shift manufacturing units, all will be maintained regularly for a physical inspection for any type of inspectors can come and visit if they want. All maintained records shall be available for authorized inspection. A written record of major equipments also very, very important. Cleaning record, maintenance record shall be included in individual equipments log, logs which you are maintaining, the working logs. That shows the date, time, product and lot number of each batch proceeds. Identity and quality, or not quality, quantity, identity and the quantity, the number, amount of each shipment, of each lot or each batch of component with receiving code and date of receipt should be maintained properly. To assure uniformity of the batch to batch in maintenance of the record, master production and controlled records for each drug product, including each batch size, shall be prepared, date and signed by one person authority and checked by second person again, which include the name and the strength of the product, distribution or description of the dosage form, name and the weight of active ingredient present in the unit dose, and complete and component designated by names or codes, a statement of theoretical yield, a statement of theoretical yield, a description of drug product container, what container closure you have used, and closures and packing material what you have used. This should be mentioned, and complete manufacturing and control instructions, sampling and testing procedures, specifications, testing procedures and specifications, and precautions to be followed should be maintained very clearly in this sector. So you see, this is the bookkeeping. This is the batch manufacturing record. Read it, listen, You will succeed. This can be given for even everywhere. I hope as an interesting read and you can write, listen. I hope it's an easy subject. And remember, write hints. You can write, but without reading, you cannot express. It looks easy, but reading and listening is very, very important. The last one in this session is 11th one. Return salvaged drug product and salvaged. Returning product which is returned from the consumer. Product which is returned from the retailer to the wholesaler. Wholesaler will bring back to the company or the manufacturer. May be deteriorated, may be damaged, may be expired. So if it is expired or if it is damaged or if it is completely deteriorated, it has to be destroyed. It should not be brought inside the premises. But in some cases, they have been returned by means of the product might not have damaged, label damage or external damages. So there is a possibility for you to reprocess. That is what salvaged. So which can be salvaged, which can be reprocessed, which can be taken back to the market after reprocessing? This is the question for the student now. If they ask a question, return taking and which all can be salvaged, which all can be reprocessed and taken to the market for resales of the product. So returned drug products means shall be identified as such and held. Returned product shall be destroyed unless examination testing. If suppose examination testing is telling that or the investigation proves the drug product meets appropriate standards and say it is safety, identity, strength, quality or purity is perfect, then you can go for reprocessing or salvaged. Otherwise, it has to be completely destroyed. And separate sector, separate storage area should be provided. It should not be mixed up with the product which is taken away from the market initially. It should be kept as a separate quarantine area. A drug product may be reprocessed, as I told, provide the subsequent drug product meets the appropriate standard, specification and characteristics. Record of returned product, very much important to maintain, shall be maintained and shall include the name, potency, lot number, that means batch number, reason why they returned, reason for returning, quality at the time of return the product, date of disposition and ultimate disposition of drug products. All these details have to be maintained. And how the drug process, reprocess can be done. This I just made it a slide for to remember the points easily. I doubt that may be asked this type of questions sometimes. What I mean by drug product, herbal drug product salvaging or simply drug product salvaging. Can you explain? Means you should explain somebody or some place if it is returned to the manufacturer and how we can go for reprocessing. Can it go for reprocessing all the product or only certain product? So they mentioned the drug products that have been subjected to improper storage condition, including in extreme temperatures, there is no double in extreme temperature due to the damage or heavy humidity or smoke problem, fumes, due to pressure, age due to natural disaster if it is getting damaged, fire extinction, accident, and hazardous shall not be very important. These all incidents which affect the drug and if it is returned, it cannot be reprocessed. It cannot be, it shall not be, it shall not be, it shall not be salvaged, it shall not be reprocessed and returned to the marketplace. It should be destroyed. Understand? Then what? Which can be done? Now coming. When the product have to be subjected in such condition, salvaging operation may be conducted only if there is, number one, if you have evidence from laboratory testing after bringing the product into the premises and assay you are performing, that the product meets all applicable standards of identity, strength, quality and purity, go for reprocess. Again, evidence for inspection in the premises you have to do for that particular returned drug product and associated packing were not subjected to improper storage condition. If they say it has been brought because of improper storage condition, don't reprocess. So that is again they are telling associated packing with where no subjected, there should not be any report date stating that improper storage condition as a result of disaster or accident, which is the point which is given in the earlier product paragraph or earlier points. If it is so, you should not take. Otherwise, if the test says that it is purity, quality, everything is maintained as the product which is available and the new product, then you can go for reprocessing. I just made this into 2 points, which that is drug product that have been subjected shall not be salvated and returned to the marketplace. What all? For example, it should not be done. No reprocessing can be done if suppose the product is returned due to improper storage condition, including in extreme temperature, humidity, smoke, fumes, pressure, age due to natural disaster and fire, accident and other hazards. If these all are the condition, they return the product, no chance of reprocessing, no chance of drug salvation. Salvaged, it should not be salvaged, shall not be salvaged. That is the thing which you have to remember. Then, if evidence for laboratory testing and assay that the product meet all applicable standards of identity, strength and quality, evidence from inspection for the premises that the drug product are associated with the packing were not subjected to, it should not be subjected to improper storage condition as a result of disaster or accident, then go for reprocessing. Salvaging operation may be conducted. Then you can do salvaging operation. Understand? Thank you for being this class. I made it into 2 classes especially. So this is enough for today.